right, Mrs. Farrar is reading Beauty and the Beast, Belle's Tea Party today. There's one word I want you to listen to because I bet it's how we all felt. I'm going to read it on the first page. Belle feels cooped in. She's been stuck in her house. Tell your moms and dads or your meemaws or aunties what cooped in means like. We all feel that way. We've been home way too long, stuck in our house. So, ready? I'm going to start reading the story. Alicia is my camera chick today. Girl. She's going to record me reading the story to you, and then Miss Thomas will send it to you. I'm also going to have Miss Thomas send you a picture of the puzzle I'm working on. The reason why I picked this story is because I'm working on a Beauty and the Beast, Belle and Beast puzzle. So, as soon as I get that done, I'll send you a picture. So let's start our story. Belle looked out the window. It had been raining for 6 straight days, and she felt cooped up. She hadn't taken a walk or visited the stables in nearly a week. Will the rain ever stop, she wondered. Chip's little teacup was wondering the same thing. He had already played all the games he could think of. Now he just wished he could go outside. Since he was so little, he didn't have a job like the other enchanted objects, but the rest of the enchanted objects had finished their work. The castle was spotless. Lumiere, the candelabra, wandered into the dining room. He noticed how bored Chip and Belle looked, and he began to sing a song in French. Sorry, friends, Miss Farrar is not singing in French. Then Clockworks the cock rounded up some napkins, spoons, and a bowl, and led them in a dance. That's it, he cried as they whirled around the table. You see them on the table? They got the spoons and the napkins. There's a smile on Belle's face. Hooray, Chip yelled when the song was over. That was wonderful, Belle cried. Will you do another one? Lumiere frowned. Actually, we need to go check on the master, he said. Who's the master, guys? Yes, Cogsworth agreed. He might need something. And Lumiere, hopped off the table and went to the beast's study. Now, what will we do, Belle? Chip asked. Belle looked over at the teacup and smiled. I'm not sure, Chip, she said. I'll try to think of something. Just then, Chip's mother, Mrs. Pot, the teapot, entered the room. She knew just what would cheer up Belle and Chip. Let's have a tea party, she suggested Belle. Why don't you go change into your pretty party dress? And Chip and I have a special job for you. This little teacup smiled excitedly, and Belle raced upstairs to change. We're going to have a tea party, Belle exclaimed when she reached her room. Oh, that's lovely, dear, said Wardrobe replied. You'll need something bright and pretty to wear. She opened one of the doors and looked inside. Belle reached for a navy dress. No, the wardrobe cried. That's too dark for a tea party. The wardrobe rummaged around a little more and found a yellow hat. You simply must wear this, she said. It's beautiful, Belle cried. Then she noticed that the wardrobe was holding a yellow and gold dress and matching gloves. You've outdone yourself, she said. The wardrobe smiled proudly. After Belle had changed, she looked into the mirror and twirled around. It was such fun to dress up. You'll be the belle of the ball. Tea party, Wardrobe said with a giggle. Meanwhile, Lumiere and Cogsworth returned to the dining hall. The beast had been taking a nap, so they hadn't need to do anything for him. Once the clock and candelabra heard about the tea party, they started getting the dining room ready. They put a vase filled with blue flowers on the table. Then the spoons, dishes, and napkins jumped into place. Now all they needed was the food. Before long, Mrs. Potts and Chip brought in some tiny sandwiches and pastries with frosting. Ooh la la, Lumiere cried. This will be a wonderful tea party, I think. We are almost ready. Ah, Cogsworth said. Chip, Would you please place the card on the head of the table? He gave Chip a card with Belle's name on it. That way she'll know where to sit. Chip put the card in the place. Miss Potts smiled at her. Son, now you take your place too, she said. The little teacup hopped onto a saucer excitedly. It was the first tea party. He couldn't wait for it to begin. Whoa, donuts, guys. Make me hungry. Nope, it's just bread. No, it's donuts. I'm trying to figure it out. Everything is so beautiful, Belle explained as she walked into the dining room. But wait, said Mrs. Potts, we can't forget the most important part of the tea party. The tea. Mrs. Potts tripped herself over and poured some tea into Chip. Then Belle picked up Chip and took a sip. The little teacup beamed at last. He had an important job. This is a lovely tea party, Belle said. I'm so glad I have good friends like you. Me too, Chip said. Everyone smiled. Maybe rainy days weren't so bad after all.